G'day folks, it's the Meeple Monkey here again with another live stream for you, and we're going to we're going a little bit late tonight. We're starting a little bit later, I should say, but hopefully I'm catching a few of you at a good time, and if not, hopefully you enjoy the chat as you watch it later. But we're rolling on with our days of Christmas, our Meeple Monkeys 12 days of Christmas, and I think we're on day number 10, and I was actually pointed out to me, who was it? I think Nelly was pointing out to me that actually the 12 days of Christmas start like I think on Christmas or the day after Christmas and go afterwards. Who knew? Well, maybe most of you, but I always thought it was like a advent calendar thing where you're leading up to Christmas. So this whole premise has been flawed from the start, but I hope you guys have enjoyed all the shout outs. Hello to hi Dan, hi hi Clara. um, Hope you guys are having a good Christmas period as well, and enjoying your time. I started a bit late because I've just finished trying to film a playthrough, but the playthrough went a little bit awry, and about fairly deep into the game, like just as I was starting to get the villain on the ropes, I realized that I'd been playing some rules wrong, and one of the threats would have been damaging a whole bunch of heroes for many, many turns, and that hadn't been happening. So I thought, oh, you know what, let's redo and play it properly, because I know I make mistakes and stuff like that, but I like to, if I know that I've made a pretty big mistake and I've realized it during the game, sometimes I'll stop and go, no, you know what, let's try and show the proper rules as much as we can. And then it's usually when I'm going back through editing, when I think I've got it all right, then I'm like, oh no, I made a mistake here, and oh no, I made another mistake here. Hi, Sid, how you going? Yeah, just saying we're launching into day 10, and so let's see who painted Santa will bring us today. So he's got his little baggie there. He's going to bring us. Thank you, Santa. Let's have a look here. Well, I hope I've got the right one here. It is too. This is day 10. It's all about the new designers. And I guess that's the main sort of theme. But what I say new designers, but I've lost my page now. But I wanted to highlight this video is sort of more about current and future designers, and the theme of like up and coming designers as well. Unpainted Chibi Galactus got replaced. Yeah, sorry Chibi Galactus. Let's see, can you see him up there? He's been comforted by larger unpainted Galactus, so he's all right. He's doing okay. Yeah, today this video is it's sort of all about the future, really, and so I wanted to start with I guess I wanted to give a shout out to some of the designers who were on the scene before I got there. And from the perspective of, I haven't really given them much of a highlight, but I think there was a captain, I want to say Captain Kurtz or Captain Kurz, or Kirch, maybe Captain Kirch, and Scud O were a couple that, and along with Rick Nichols, sorry, as who we started with, I think, in one of our first shout outs. They were sort of like who as I was coming in and discovering this world of homebrew, were some who had set up that homebrew archives and homebrew sort of section from when they must have been following Marvel United back in the first season campaign, and sort of set up the initial Discord and that sort of thing, and had been posting stuff in Board Game Geek and that sort of thing. So those were like the founding fathers of the homebrew scene, as we know it at the moment. And it's interesting to look at the perspective. So the whole range of homebrewers who I've been showing off over the last year or two, relatively new on the scene when I was getting into it. Nelly Nell and Helios 23, they were starting to make their designs when I was getting into it, sort of thing. And they're the ones I sort of see as, the current sort of ones who have been doing it for a while, the veterans, if you will. And so I want to sort of highlight that, the new wave of homebrewers coming through. And it's funny I say new wave, because the first person I want to talk about, and this is an interesting thing, you know, Martin VZ. Um, Martin could be, to be honest, he could have his own video shout out here, and he really deserves one because he's been very prolific. And so, what the reason I sort of like include him here is because he's someone, and I want to highlight his story because he's someone who, as I was sort of coming through and enjoying all the homebrew stuff and making designs and talking with these guys that are making their stuff, he came on the scene. To me, it feels like it's one of those things, whatever, if we've been doing something for a while, the stuff even that's fairly old still feels uh, fairly recent. But he came on the scene and started making some designs, I think with the help of Dave. Initially, it sort of helped him sort of get started with the sort of like working out the ins and outs of like the templates and that sort of thing, and then started doing his own stuff. And uh, so he has, so in my mind, he's like, oh, he's a new up and coming, designer. But when I think about it, he's been doing it for ages now. And this is the thing, like, all it takes is if you just get started. That we were talking to Von Tracht the other day, and you've got an idea, you want to try and do something like this. My advice is, like, just have a go, just do it, just have a bit of a play around, experiment with it. Maybe watch some YouTube videos or whatever it might be. Ask for some help with the people there in the community, and you can get the ball rolling. And then you'll be like Martin, no longer a newbie with just getting a few little designs started. He'll be launching 1,000 projects and then offering his assistance. He now is one of the big voices there, that if you go on and ask for some help or advice, or want to show something and say, hey, what do you guys think of this, he will generally sort of jump in there and give you whatever sort of feedback and advice, and very helpful as well. So fantastic designer. So I wanted to sort of highlight him. And if we go through, like, he started with the very first design I'm aware of that he worked on was the Logan files, which was a ambitious three villain fight, similar to the uh, what do you call those guys? The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, in that it's a triple battle. Had all these different sort of threats based on the different bad guys there, and it was a really thematic, fun, tough fight. And then he went on to make, I think he's done Nightcrawler as a villain. He did also, and he's really a big part of what he loves doing is he takes existing villains where he maybe finds some part of the story lacking, or just the mechanics maybe not as interesting, or just wants to emphasize something a little bit more. Whether it's threats or master plan cards and things like that, and he'll just sort of tinker with the design and do like an updated sort of his version of it, sort of thing. So whether it might be putting in different threats to replace others, and that sort of thing, and just sort of like make the feel of that villain a little unique to what the original was like. So he's done a bunch of those. And he's done the Illuminati. So he's actually done like a Sinister Six style thing with a big hexagonal dashboard and all that sort of stuff, with the Sinister Six as well. Sorry, with the Illuminati as the bad guys there. And I think he's done some options because he made it, and then people said, "Oh, what about this guy? He was in Illuminati, so he was in the Illuminati," and I like that version of the Illuminati better. So he made a couple of alternate sort of characters and stuff as well. Oh, hello, Vodtrack. Yeah, must have your ears must have been burning. um, but yeah, so um, Martin is really a veteran of the homebrew community now, but I want to highlight that his journey from starting out, and just all he did, he came in and he reached out, and he said, I've got this idea, and he reached out, and at the time, Dave, who was another person who loves to sort of jump in and help people up and lift the community up, sort of thing, he helped out, and now Martin's in that position. He's doing that. So I wanted to give a shout out to, and a lot of these folks I'm giving a shout out to maybe have been in various states of that. They're not all brand new designers, sort of thing, as I go through, but I want to highlight just all of these, this whole community, this whole sort of movement of people coming in, they're new to the hobby, new to Marvel United, whatever they get interested in the homebrew thing. They discover, people are working on these things, and they think, "Oh, I've got an idea. I'd like to try that." And we just keep building, and it all it means is we just get lots and lots of more content, lots of more ideas. If one idea is not your particular cup of tea, that's fine, but it might be lots of other people that go, "Oh, well, that's great," sort of thing. So, fantastic. Illuminati, yeah. Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati. I'm not really saying it very fast, though, am I? It's like when I try to say nuclear, I say it like George Bush, I think. So my wife always makes fun of me when I say that. So whenever there's someone designs a villain battle with nuclear bomb things we've got to protect, Nelly Nell, it makes me very nervous. So, but yeah, let's go through some of these designers. These fans of the game, fans in the community who have come along and are building something more and something bigger and better for the community. So let's have Fezadu. Fezadu is not only a designer but also an artist, and actually a very talented artist. Was able to do the battle we did with the man spider. So that was a good fun fight. Really thematic as well, based on the animated series. Episode where Man Spider sort of showed up. We've got Crow Craw, and these are two that I've shown off battles on the channel as well. Crow Craw did a really fantastic version of Cassandra Nova, really thematic battle as well. Really interesting too, because I think he designed it only for 2 players. It was designed, I think, thematically to work with like Deadpool and Wolverine sort of thing. So you're only supposed to take 2 heroes, but playing it, I think you could expand it out. I don't see any reason why mechanically you couldn't play with more heroes as well. That was a very cool battle, and I quite like the idea of that one with. Now I forget the name because he's been posting a lot on Facebook under not Discord sort of handle, but he's posted on the wiki. He's posted this up under Hobby Bytes. So apologies, I can't remember the name of this fellow, but Hobby Bytes has made the Deadpool Resistance team deck and posted that up. You might have seen that on Facebook recently, and I immediately thought, oh, that's awesome! Like, because I'd love to sort of play against Cassandra Nova with a team of those characters listed in that team deck. So you got like your Electras and your Blades and that sort of thing as well. And that's why I think it'd be fun to maybe try and expand this battle out to have more heroes rather than just the 2, and that would go great with the Deadpool's Resistance team deck. So that's a fantastic one. And then we've got a user by the name of Kilgore, who has made a bunch of campaigns. So if you have a look in the Marvel United Discord there, or and look in the homebrew, like basically a lot of the homebrewers have their own little mini sort of posts in that homebrew section, and in that, I think they're called threads or something. Uh, Kilgore's put up some campaign stuff in there, so check that out. We've got Board Ghost Games, is really interesting. Board Ghost Games has focused on a lot of challenges and made these extra challenges that sort of like change up what's going on around your battle. So like challenges where you might put in some sentinels or this or that from the official stuff. He's done stuff like having side schemes, the wormhole. The wormhole challenge, the time rip. I think the time ripple challenge is one where he puts a layer of locations around the outside of the location sort of circle. So you actually have sort of like an inner circle and an outer circle, and you can sort of jump back and forth between the 2. That's a really, really interesting, way to sort of like completely rethink the game as well. So that's an excellent one. And this is what I mean. If we go through and have a look at these, there's so many different things that and different little what's the word, like little avenues you can go down, or little pockets of the Marvel United game system space that you can explore, and that's what all these homebrewers are doing. So you might have an idea that no one's thought of because they haven't thought of this particular sort of aspect of the game and how you could change it up. So hello Martin, how you going? Missed the start. I was mesmerized by Nemesis remake. Right. I wonder, has he posted that up? Because we just did some play testing of that um, uh, today, like earlier today, sort of thing. So that'd be cool. I'll have to check out, see if he's posted that. But it's very, very cool. A very fun fight and nice and challenging. And Martin, we were just actually, you'll have to go back and watch the video, but we were just giving you a shout out because we're talking about um, the like the future of the homebrew and the Marvel United community, and I think the future of the Marvel United community is very much sort of driven a lot by the homebrewers and stuff as well. You know, because there's obviously a lot of excitement when the campaigns come out, and you know we all receive our pledges and that sort of thing. But one of the things that keeps the community going forward, that you know that passionate sort of community that just love Marvel United. One of the things that keeps us going is you know all the extra sort of content we can create for ourselves, sort of thing. And there's been some discussion about that on the Discord as well. If you guys are sort of following that as well, and people. Yeah, basically championing the idea that you know we're creating all this content to keep the game going, and yeah, you know, and thanks to folks like yourself, Martin, um, who you know, and I'm sort of talking about the perspective of that we um, you know, for me, you were a new designer. I still in my head think of you, oh, Martin's one of the new wave of designers, but really you've been doing this for a long time. And so this idea that we, you know, all it takes is just get yourself started, get some help, you know, and then you become that next wave and we can keep the hobby going and that sort of thing. So yeah, and I've just been going through some different folks. I want to just give a shout out to the work that they've been working on and that sort of thing. So we just talked about Board Ghost Games and his challenges that he's been working on. There's a little team of folks. They've seemed to have sort of quietened down a little bit now, but they were really going full steam ahead, and they created quite a bunch of stuff. I think by the end of it, and there's you know you can sort of see it all in their little thread. But Jay Wiz, I think Jay Wiz was sort of like the lead behind this. Um, and then there seems to be some two big collaborators there that were working a lot with Jay Wiz, Mr. $11 and Macius, I think. And they were working on the Star Wars stuff, so Star Wars United. So they made a bunch of villains and heroes. And so you can go in there if you like your Star Wars stuff. I know I always see people mention, you know, probably one of the top five, probably top three things that people say that you know if they're talking about other IPs that they'd love to see the United System tackle, Star Wars is a big one, and so these guys are you know have made it a reality, and you know you can get the little chibi models from I think what's that game called? Is it Rivals or? There's a little Star Wars game with little chibis, and I'm sure there's a few other versions as well. But it's a reality if you access these guys, villains and heroes, print them out, get some little models, you can be playing United Star Wars. So that's great. Another person that we have mentioned a few times now is the Angel or Angel, who has been great in giving us lots of feedback and really helping sort of balance out the homebrew community and make sure you know keeping us honest, sort of thing, and giving us his reviews of the homebrew content out there on the wiki and also in the Discord community. He also has designed some stuff, and the big one I remember is the Jackal. He made a really good villain of the Jackal, and that's one that I want to try and tackle. Sometimes some of these things I find a bit of trouble sort of printing them out professionally. Sometimes I can't access the right files and stuff. I'll have to see if there's a reason I haven't printed out the Jackal, because it's one I've been meaning to print for a while. But I'd love to show that off on the channel too. And now I'm not sure if it's all Coke or all Cock, but he has made amongst a few other things I think he's got planned coming up. He's made and just released as well, which is exciting, a Thanos hero deck. So, and he's got some equipment and stuff for it as well. And I think Martin, I think you were a big help in helping him out with that too. So this is what I mean. You know, I talked about sort of Dave was sort of helping you out at the beginning. With the Logan files, and now you're performing that role, you know, helping out all sorts of newcomers come in, giving advice and all that sort of stuff as well. So really exciting to see, you know, a hero Thanos version, because in the comics I know that Thanos has done all sorts of different things, so that's really cool. Yeah, no worries. No, thank you for all the work and the you know, hard work you put in, because you know we most of us do this. You know, we're not trying to make a buck or anything like that. We're just doing it for the love of the hobby and sharing and that sort of thing. And you know, I know that it's not a insignificant amount of time that we we put into this stuff, and so it's a big undertaking. We enjoy it and it's a lot of fun. It's a hobby, but it is, it's a lot of work and stuff. So thank you, for all the work you do, and thank you for all the support you give to folks like Alcock and others, in the hobby. Mr. Creed has just put up a little while ago a Fire Lord challenge. He really likes the character of Fire Lord, and this is the thing, all it takes is just if you've got a particular passion about a character or something that you want more prevalent in the game, homebrew is a way you can make that happen. So I think he's got a way of sort of similar to like the Sentinels. You can just add Fire Lord into a game with any other villain, and the Fire Lord sort of travels around like a little sort of bonus villain or something like that. I think is the idea with that one. There's now I don't know if it's Skipped or SKPT is a user who I know. I don't know that they've officially sort of put it up anywhere, but I know they've been working on for a while. And this is maybe just a little bit of encouragement to, hey, it sounds like it's going really well, and you can see if you can sort of get it across the line. But Chasm, who's I think a Spider-Man um, universe sort of character. I think maybe sort of related to the whole Venom thing and the symbiotes and stuff like that. I think Chasm might be in that realm. He's making a Chasm hero, I think, or maybe an anti-hero, I think. So and Spot and Dave did, yeah, yeah. Dave's he's launched so many homebrew careers, I think through either providing his templates and that sort of stuff, or just actually, you know, getting in and hands on and actually offering his help personally to people and stuff like that. So fantastic. And then Cataphract. This is now that I'm sure I've missed tons, and apologies to those folks who have been working hard on the designs and I might have missed it or skipped it or something. But this is the latest one I've noticed personally on the Discord. And Cataphract, and I've mentioned this before, has made a Cthulhu Death May Die um, uh, like alternate version, I guess, of Marvel United, and it's looking really, really cool. So he's made a whole bunch of heroes. He's been doing play testing. He's got villains. And the villains are interesting because he's made his villains either the elder gods or the scenarios, because you generally have like a scenario or a story in Cthulhu Death May Die, and you have a whole bunch of different the elder gods or the big monsters, the big bosses that you fight, and then so you have a whole stack of these stories and a whole stack of these monsters, and then you like randomly pick two and then mash them together. And I think what he's done is he's sort of treated those as separate things. It seems like you can either pick one of the big monsters to be the big bad and the theme around the battle, or you can pick the story and um, there's a whole like master plan deck and a whole like threat deck based on this stuff, and then the same with this one over here. So yeah, it looks really interesting, and he's got a whole he's got, obviously being Arkham, there's a whole bunch of the madness and the insanity and the push your luck of like insanity can be good, but also you don't want to go too far down that track and stuff. So he sort of put all that sort of stuff in, but within the same thing, he's still got, you're still playing on the Marvel United sort of track and the boards and stuff, the locations. You still got the master plan cards and the threats and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it looks really interesting. So and that's the sort of the range of different stuff you've got there. So hopefully, just by going through that and giving those folks a little bit of a shout out and saying, hey, look, check out their stuff, check out this, check out that, you can see that there's like challenges. If you're looking at homebrew, you can have a look for different challenges, you can have a look for different heroes, you can have a look for different villains, you can have a look at completely different game modes. There's all sorts of stuff there. So it's been a lot of fun sort of exploring this world and just seeing what pops up, and it's always great to see someone new, like a little username that you haven't seen before in the homebrew section saying, hey, I've got this idea, I'd like to try this. And even better, it's great to see folks like Martin and stuff jump on and go, yeah, hey, that looks great. Hey, think of this, do this, would you like some help with this? And it's a really positive place. So I'm really enjoying it. So just wanted to give a shout out to those folks and say the future of Marvel United or Simon United is looking great, and there's so much creativity and imagination and stuff going on there that I'm looking forward to. My wallet is slightly dreading all the printing and stuff, but looking forward to exploring what this game has to offer, this system has to offer for years to come. So I'm really pumped and excited. So thanks to all the great work that people are doing out there. So yeah, thank you very much. I also wanted. Oh, uh-oh. I don't know if I disappeared there or I accidentally hit my the uh, the tab thing, so my whole window thing shrank down. And I was like, oh, I hope I haven't like shut off the stream. But I just wanted to say as well, I've as I was talking to Nelly about the 12 days of Christmas as well, and how the 12 days of Christmas are actually supposed to go after Christmas or whatever. But I think I've also, even if I was trying to tee up so this finished on the 24th, I think I've messed up my dates. So, so I think we've only got 2 more days, and that's not going to quite work out. So when we get to day one, I'm not sure what that's going to look like, sort of thing. But we'll see whether or not we either do the announcement of that, the Santa Claus, the 2 copies of the Santa model and villain battle that you can win through our giveaway from Minis from Mars. So I don't know whether we're going to do that on the day one or whether I'll do like an extra video on the next day and maybe do it then, sort of thing. So not sure, but yeah, we've got at least 2 more where I've got some themes here to go with, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the chat. Thank you very much. I did start this one quite a bit later, so I'll probably sign off. But it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to all the designers out there. Thank you, Martin. Thanks for being here, guys. Von Tract, Sin, Dan and Clara as well, and anyone else out there that's watching. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Hope you're inspired by the game and the designers out there. And we'll be back with another one tomorrow, and one more after that, and we'll see where we go from there. So awesome! Thanks, guys. Have a good one, and yeah, Meeple Monkey out. See you guys. Bye.